Jay, we got some very big news minutes before we went on air tonight. And the only really appropriate reaction to that news is
Yeah, a good Nelson ha ha with a point is very good. Yes, breaking news. Democrats, with a D, gain a congressional seat in Alaska, of all places, during their special election, with Mary Peltola beating Sarah Palin 51.5% to 48.5% in their first ranked choice voting election. You love to see it. You love to see it.
Look, ranked choice voting is the best way to prevent psychopaths from holding elected offices.
That is correct. Yeah.
Because the reason why Mary Peltola won this election is because the other Republican that was in the running, I don't remember his name, but basically only 50% of his voters had Palin as their second choice.
Yep.
And the rest of them had Peltola on there instead.
Yeah. Peltola had 29% of voters who went for Nick Begich went to her. So yeah, she scored 29. That's pretty good.
Yes.
I mean, listen, it's ranked choice voting is great in a lot of ways, and everyone should really, if you don't understand how it works, you should look into it. I'm not going to go through the full explanation here, but you should look into it, because one of the things that also helps with is allowing people to really vote for the person they really want, but also having a backup, right? So it stops the idea of, oh, I got to vote for Joe Biden because he's the safe candidate, right? Like, you could put Joe Biden down as your second choice, but if you really want Bernie Sanders or whatever, let's say, you go with Bernie, like, this is my guy, but just in case the shit don't work out with Bernie, like, I still make sure that I'm getting the team in, or someone who is representative of my team. And look, that helps people to vote. That eliminates the idea of like, well, I can't vote for Bernie because I know Bernie's likely not going to win, so I feel like I'm just wasting a vote. Like, there is no wasted vote, right? Like, to me, ranked choice voting eliminates the fight between, like, it kind of eliminates the fight of the primaries where you're like trying to kill each other kind of thing. Like, you don't need to do that anymore. You can just be like, here's my number one, here's my number two, or, 1, 2, and 3 or whatever. And then move on from there. If your person doesn't win, votes, if they get eliminated, whatever the threshold is, then they get eliminated, you move up to your second one. If they get eliminated, you move up.
And your vote at the end of the day ends up mattering.
Yes. Everyone's
regardless.
Vote.
Right. Regardless of who ends up winning or not, like, your vote counts. Like, your vote is significant. You're not pulling the Kodos and throwing your vote away by voting for a third party. And that's also a good way that third parties
vote away.
Third parties can get a foothold in these two politics, in these two party races, by having ranked choice voting as well. Because if you have a third party candidate that, let's say, pulls in, if ranked choice is there and people know that they have a safety net, they might be more inclined to make that initial vote for a third party candidate. And even if third party candidate doesn't win, like, getting 15%, 20% of that initial vote, that helps build a foothold. That helps build, a platform that you can then run on the next.
Right. Because if you saw, this is just just a regular example here, but like, if you saw a third party person ratchet up 20, 25% of the vote, you might be like, oh shit, they really have a chance. Like, they have a chance to really make a real run for this. Maybe let's say they're the Green Party or whatever, but like, maybe not this person, but like, the Green Party's got a chance next time. Like, all right, let's keep going. And like you said, you start to build a foothold, and then they start to actually be a real competitive choice versus 5 people voting for them, not 5%, but like 5 people voting for them, because they know they have no chance whatsoever. And if I vote for whatever Green Party candidate, I'm just basically giving away a vote to Republicans. Let's say, depending on where you are.
And it helps shift the big parties more towards positions that you want them to land on. Because again, if you see that, a third party candidate has 20% of the vote, parties aren't going to look at that and be like, oh, well, we'll be their second choice and no worry about it. They're going to be like, oh, what can we do to make sure we get those votes the first time and get the initial voting? So it's all good. I haven't seen anyone make a good argument against ranked choice voting. It's kind of like, a good argument for the Electoral College. It just doesn't really exist at all.
Right. No, there's
anymore.
Well, so, here's the thing, Brad. As you say that you have not seen an argument against ranked choice voting.
Well, right, that we have this race. So
we have this race, and you can guarantee by week's end. I said that if Republicans have their druthers, this will be the first and last time you see ranked choice voting in Alaska. I would not be surprised if immediately within a week or two you get legislation to knock down ranked choice voting and go back to how it was in Alaska by a Republican within 2 weeks. I'd be shocked if it wasn't.
I think they will at least wait until they have the general election. Like the general election, they'll see how it shakes out then, and if she hangs on to the seat in the general, because again, this was just a special election that she won. But if she hangs on to it in the general, then yes,
we gotta get this woman the fuck out of here.
Now,
we gotta get them all.
That being said, Republican that's the lesson they will take from this situation. The lesson they should take from this situation is stop allowing nutters to run under your party, because had Sarah Palin
that's the actual lesson
not been running, Nick Begich would have won easily. He would have won going away. It would not have even been a problem.